Hello guys, and welcome to my Nightmare Zone guide. A lot of you guys have been asking for this for a long time now, and I promised you I'd bring it out. Been a little busy and stuff though, but here it is, and hopefully you guys are happy with it. So there's two ways of doing Nightmare Zone in my eyes. There's one way for doing it for points, and there's one way of doing it for experience. This guide, I'm going to cover the points part of it. It's going to be quite a longish episode, I think. Well, a long video, just because there's quite a lot to go through. But I will try and go through things as quickly as possible, and why I do things a certain way, and why I use what I use. Let's start off with the rewards. Seems like a good place to start. So the resources tab, Iron Men cannot use. Unfortunately, you can't use this if you're an Iron Man. Luckily, you can still use the upgrades and the benefits whilst you're in Nightmare Zone, but you cannot buy things from here. The reason most people come here is to buy either the Scrolls of Redirection, which let you teleport to different house portals by using one of these on a house teleport tab. You can also change it to Trollheim as well if you've done Edgar's Ruse. But anyway, that's another story. So that, and obviously the herb boxes, which you can open a maximum of 15 per day. You make quite a lot of money off doing that as well. If you want to go and check it out, just look at the wiki. It's fantastic. There's so much information in there. So, upgrades. You can upgrade Slayer Helm, Black Mask, Salve Amulet, Ring of Suffering, all the DK's rings, the Tyrannical Ring, the Treasonous Ring, Ring of Gods, Crystal Equipment, including Crystal Bowls, Shields, and the Halberd. Now, they all do different things, and if you want to go and figure out what they do, like I said, I'd highly recommend going and check out the wiki page. I'll drop a link in the description so you can go through and look at it yourself. And then benefits, just stuff you can use whilst you're actually in Nightmare Zone. You've got super ranging pots, super magic pots, overloads, and of course the absorption potions. For this guide, you will need access to overloads and absorption potions, which means getting some points first. Now, if you're completely new to this and don't know what you're doing, I'd highly recommend just waiting, and I should have another guide out for you within the next day or two, which is the best XP per hour guide, which will also help you getting your starter points. I can go through it a little bit better in that episode. So anyway, the barrels here are where if you've bought some overloads and stuff, or the ranging pots, these are the barrels where you can store them and you can take out obviously the potions and stuff. What I do need to tell you as well, people get like really confused at this, and I don't know why. When you go to benefits, when you buy that, it's 1500 points for one dose, but when you buy them, you just go over here and then you can take out as many as you want. So if I go to take on this now, oh, I can't because my thing's full, but it says I've got 92 doses in there, so 92 divided by 4, whatever that is, that's how many full potions I've got. Okay, so now that's the rewards out of the way, done and dusted. What I'm going to show you now on screen is a list of all of the bosses, the quests you need to complete in order to kill that boss, and then the maximum amount of points you will get doing a hard rumble. So, you do need all of these bosses in here to get the points I get. I get roughly like 1.1 million to 1.5 million XP per, not XP, points per hour, which is just fantastic. Like, and it's really AFK as well. You barely have to do anything. You have to click like every couple of minutes. The more monsters you have in there, the more points you will get. So the points that are reflected on the screen at the moment, you won't necessarily get, but you will get pretty close to them. And I'll also add 2 more on the bottom, which are 2 of the Recipe for Disaster monster bosses, and they're actually not too bad. They just have higher defense. I would recommend putting them in if you can kill them, just because, like I said, you get the more you have in there, the more points you are going to get. So before we go into a rumble, I'll just show you the setup that I have. So melee gear, obviously just the best you can get. You want full Darox, and then the rest is just Tortured, Berserker, Primordials if you can. Obviously substitute anything out that you don't have. Dragon Boots would be fine, Warrior Ring if you want one. I don't know what else would be good. Maybe a Prayer Boosting Ring if you don't have any stat rings. So maybe like the Explorer's Ring or something like that. You definitely want a Blessing. That's going to help out massively in reducing the prayer you use whilst you're in there. And then in your inventory, you need a blowpipe. You definitely want a blowpipe. I use rune darts, and I'd highly recommend you use at least adamant darts doing this. The reason I say that is because on the previous screen I showed you with the bosses on there, there is Camille from the Desert Treasure. Now, he is a pain because he can freeze you in place. So what you want to do is switch over to Rapid, put your blowpipe on, and just obviously eagle eye it and just kill him as quickly as possible. Saying that as well though, Farid, you need your Icicles Floor, which is why I've got them in my inventory. When you're killing Damis as well, his first form is nice and easy to kill, but as soon as he turns to his second form, he drains your prayer and he hits a lot harder and a lot faster, and his defense obviously gets a lot higher too. But I'll tell you how to deal with that obviously later on in the video. But yeah, that's why you want the blowpipe anyway, is to kill Camille. You need the ice gloves, as I mentioned before, for Farid. I also believe you need them for one of the Culling Romancer bosses, Nagrith Nana or something like that, I believe it's called. You want to bring an Ancient Mace if you want more prayer in there, and a Granite Maul. Now you can swap out the Ancient Mace for an Absorption Potion or for a Prayer Potion, but this is literally the perfect setup for me. I always come out of there with like no potions left, or if it is, it's like a sip of Overload or something, which wouldn't have really helped anyway. You want to bring the Holy Wrench if you've got it, just to save on the Prayer Potions, and obviously you get a little bit more. And you want to bring a Rock Cake so you can eat down to 1 HP whilst you're in there. Now, do bear in mind when you're in there, when you drink an Overload, you'll be hit for 50 points of damage. So, yeah, just bear that in mind when you are going in. So, I always go in with full health, Overload, and then eat down to 1 HP. And then obviously make sure you drink your Absorption Potions as well. So, to start a Dream off, right-click on Dominate, click Dream, go to Rumble, and you want to go to Customizable Hard Rumble. So, once you've done that, it's going to cost you 26k unless you've got a Quest Cape. That way it's 16k, knocks 10k off any of the prices, which is obviously fantastic. So, because I've got the Quest Cape, I've got access to all of the boss monsters, and I can also start for 16k. If you haven't got any money in your coffers, you need to put some in there. I just put 100k in at a time and then just carry on using it. And then once you've got your money and you've paid for it and everything, just go over to this potion over here and just click drink. It's just this one here. Make sure you don't misclick on the cow. So this is a list of all of the boss monsters. Now, if you added all of these in here and killed every single one, you'd get the points that I showed you before for each kill. But because we're not killing all of them, we're just killing the easiest ones to do and the ones that are most AFK. What you need to do is go through that list. I'll put it on screen again for you now at the moment, and then just tick all of the bosses that you can do in that list. So once you've done that and you're happy and you've checked it all and it all looks fine, you just click accept and that'll take you into the dream state. So now you're in here. You get 25 seconds to prepare yourself. So what I'd recommend doing is drinking your Overload first. So what I do is I tend to just drink 4 Absorption Potions. As you can see there, I've got 800 points of Absorption now, which means I can take 800 points of damage without even without losing any health or anything. So there is actually meta to doing this, I suppose. Also, I always pray piety whilst I'm in here. So what you want to do is get the biggest guy you can find. Unfortunately, Arg is going to attack me because he uses range. So what you want to do is get them lined up like that, so only 1 or 2 of them can hit you at a time. It's usually better to get the bigger guy there, but like I said, because Arg uses range anyway, he's always going to hit you. So this is pretty much all you do. You just relax, kill the monsters, make sure you're at 1 HP, pray piety, use your specs when you need to. Whilst you're in here though, you'll notice that there are things called power-ups, which I will go through now. Okay, so the first power-up that I'm going to show you is Ultimate Force. Now this one you only really want to use when you've got monsters in the field that you don't want to kill. Like I said about Damis before, his second form is a pain in the ass. So you just touch the Ultimate Force there, kills them all. Excellent. You get no points for it, no experience for it, but it gives you a clean slate, which means in a second, 4 brand new monsters will spawn. And hopefully they should be good monsters, which would help out massively. Alright, so the next one I'm going to show you is the Zapper. This one is probably one of my favourites, to be fair. It's actually a really cool one. Let me just attack this and then get him round, and that should be okay. Yeah, that'll do. 2 of them are hitting me. So as you can see, what it does is it releases like a purpley sort of orb thing. Well, I don't know what it is really. That attacks the enemies that are around it. So they do a maximum of 8 damage per attack. Although looking at these ones here, as you can see, it depends on their health. So the lower the health is, the lower damage it will do. But you always want to make sure you get a hit on them before they die, because I'm not entirely sure you get points if they die without you hitting them. I'm pretty sure a few times I haven't got points for it, and I don't know if that's a bug or not, or if that's intended. I'm pretty sure it should still count, but like I said, it's just happened to me a few times where I've not got points and I haven't done any damage to it. Which is a bit of a shame really, so just make sure you are hitting them at least once before they die, which you should be able to do anyway, because as you can see, they just die so quickly with this. Okay, so one more thing before I move on. When you get hit a blue 0 like that, that doesn't drain any of your absorption potions because you're technically not getting hit, you're tanking that. If it's red though like that, that red 0 will take 1 point of damage off. Obviously it depends on how much your health is. If you've got 1 health, it'll take off 1 point of absorption damage. If you've got 10 health, it'll take off 10 points of absorption damage, as long as it would have hit a 10. Obviously if you've got like 99 health and using an absorption potion, it's not going to hit a 99 on you, so it'll only take off the amount of damage that it would have done if you didn't have the absorption. Speaking of which, anyway, we've got the recurring damage. I'm going to run away so you can see what it's looked like. So the recurring damage is just a red orb, and what that does is that inflicts, so actually let me explain this better. Alright, so recurring damage, what that one does, as you can see there, when I hit it, it's like a recoil, but when you hit them, if that makes sense. I believe it reflects 3/4 of the damage back onto the target. I say reflect. If you hit it, it'll hit it for another 75% damage, which is obviously 3/4. So if you hit 100, it'll also hit another 75 on top of that. And it actually lasts for 45 seconds this, so you can get a lot of damage done in that time. And now this is where the real points come in, because let's face it, we're all in here to kill this one. I actually messed up the lore on that guy then. That was just because I was getting busy with recording. But yeah, as you can see at the moment, I've got 156,000 points. As soon as I kill this, you'll just see the points jump up so freaking much. It's amazing. So it's basically just luck depending on how many points you get. The more of the bigger monsters you get from Dream Mentor, the better really. As you can see there, 209k points. That is just fantastic. It's like 50k points for killing one monster. The maximum you can get, like I said before, is 74,000, I believe it is. So if you had all the monsters in here, you'd have got an extra 25k, but it's not really worth it because killing all them extra monsters. Hey, look, the next one's coming along. So this one's another good one to get. So basically, all of the Dream Mentor ones are just fantastic to get in here. All right, so finally, I've been waiting for this. We can use Power Surge. So as I said, this recharges your prayer, not your prayer. This recharges your, oh, I need to actually attack it first. There we go. Right, so let's touch it. Gives you 100% charge straight away, and then as you can see, every tick, it gives you 20% special attack, so you can just absolutely destroy things. Or, as I was mentioning before, you bring an Ancient Mace with you, get prayer points. That's it. It's so good. It is amazing, honestly. Like, I can't believe how good this is. Speaking of which, kind of glad that's happened now. So, this guy is the pain I was telling you about. You want to switch over to Eagle Eye, change to Rapid on your attack style if you're not already using it, that. And then once you finally get over to him, oh, this is just horrendous now. Okay, this is a bad one. This is where preferably you would, okay, this is one where you would want to try and get a ultimate force power up to try and get rid of both of these at once, because this is going to be really slow now, because I can't, he'll just keep teleporting me back here, and I can't kill him until I've killed this one. So that's just going to be the worst thing that could have possibly happened. But I'm kind of glad that happened whilst I was recording, because that way you can see when you want to use ultimate force, because this is just going to take so much time, and you've got to keep clicking. But I'm kind of glad it's happened whilst I'm recording, because as you can see, it takes absolutely ages. Right, so as you can see though, that's dead now, which is fantastic. So hopefully I can move here quickly enough, get that, change that to Eagle Eye, and then I got the recurring damage, so it should help kill this guy a lot quicker. I need to probably eat some of my rock cake as well, because my health is regenning. Sometimes that happens as well, where no matter how many times you click on your rock cake, you don't actually take any damage. Like in a minute, it won't. It's not taking any damage off me. I'm not entirely sure though if that's because I'm getting hit so friggin' often. So come on, just die nice and quick. That would be absolutely fantastic. As you can probably hear, I'm clicking like mad at the moment as well. Finish him off. There we go. Right, I can relax a little bit now. Also as well, make sure you're not overloading. And just take some rune darts. Also make sure you're not overloading when you're eating your rock cake, because if you eat your rock cake whilst you're overloading, you can die. So yeah, I'll show you now real quick. If I take my overload and I eat, it's going to kill me this. So because I'm brewing that, sorry, because I'm rock caking down as well as my overload's hitting me, I die. So that is one way you can die, so be careful you don't do that. I did what I got out of there though, which is why I ended it. As you can see, tells you how many points you get at the end of it and how many you've got in total. I think that's pretty much everything, guys. Hopefully you guys found this interesting or at least useful, and you guys can use it to get a lot more points when doing Nightmare Zone. If you did like it, obviously don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and be back in a few days when I release the maximum XP per hour for melee. Anyway, take care guys, and I'll see you later.